Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another round of Mind Your Fucking Business with your host, Jeffrey Huntsman.
Thank you, Dougie Sticks, coming to you from the beautiful studios of Undefeated Media here in Bergen County, New Jersey. This is the Mind Your Fucking Business podcast brought to you by our friends at the Bamboozle Project as well as DraftKings. You can go to thebamboozleproject.com, check out all of their site stuff on the site, MYPB gear, anything else. Use promo code MYPB, and you can save 20% off your total order. I think we still have the music going. Is that accurate? Yeah, I think we can.
We told them to go with their soul, and
there we go. I like it. I
like
it. I like that, though. I liked it. Remember, you can save 20% off your total order on MYPB on the Bamboozle Project. This is episode 210, 200 Diaz. So if you're following us with the SAP features available to you this morning, we welcome you to the MYPB family if this is your first time. And we are taping this episode on a Wednesday, November 19th. So if you're trying to figure out where currently we are in time when you are listening to this, we are current as of, actually, if we use it in New York Ranger terms, they played Vegas last night. So that is where we are in time right now. What were you going to say? Were you going to say something?
There's so much to say, but no, you're good.
We'll get there. You can watch the show live this morning on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube as well. And you can listen at your leisure if you'd like the streaming capabilities to you available to you. You can do that using both Apple Podcast and Spotify. So
everywhere.
Yeah, anywhere you want to find us, you can.
But I will say the Instagram is being a little funky lately. So if you're watching and you can hear us, but you're seeing us weird, just move over to YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, YouTube is fine. I think there's been some changes on Instagram. I think that's what's going on. And
True.
I'm sure the big wigs here at Undefeated Media, if it's not sorted today, I'm sure it will be sorted next week.
They're freaking out in the back right now.
Yeah. Before we get going on the games, and there's been 4 games. They obviously played Tampa, Columbus, Detroit, and Vegas since we were with you last. So we have a lot to get to today. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention the passing last Thursday of Larry Brooks. Larry Brooks was a reporter for the New York Post for many years. He started covering the Rangers there in 1978. And he was such a good reporter that 40 years into his career in 2018, he was awarded the Elmer Ferguson Award by the Hall of Fame, which is a pretty prestigious thing to get, as a reporter. A lot of you won't be able to think about this correctly because you're a lot younger than me, but there was a time that when you were looking to get news, and we'll use Ranger examples here, you're a Ranger fan in the 90s or the early 2000s, and you're looking for news. You didn't have Instagram, you didn't have Facebook, you didn't have Barstool, you didn't have all these types of things that are available to you now, and you really were relying on the paper. I hate to read. I absolutely hate to read. As a matter of fact, before we went live, I actually showed you what someone sent me in a DM recently this morning, and it's like 3 paragraphs long. I can't read it. I just can't. It's too many words. But I loved Larry Brooks's columns, and it was known as Slapshot so much that I would actually seek it out. And my senior year of high school, when I would drive to high school, which was 1998, so I'm dating myself extensively here. When I would be driving to high school, I would actually stop and get it. So it was really sad to see him pass away. Larry Brooks was diagnosed, it sounds like, with cancer really recently. I mean, within the last month, and unfortunately it took him pretty quickly. So just a sad thing. I think it should be mentioned, he passed away at 75 years old. Larry Brooks was not a part of the Ranger team, but he certainly was a part of the family of Ranger fans, and everyone knew who Larry Brooks was. So our condolences go out to his family. So let's talk about some game stuff. We were with you last Wednesday, and when we were with you, they were heading to Tampa later that evening. And the feelings were kind of high because you had just come off 2 nights before your first home win of the year. Now, if I told you back in September that your first home run of the year would be versus Nashville in November, you'd probably cry and say that's not a good sign at all. But that's reality. Everyone was excited. They finally won a game at home and heading on a road trip. Tampa is, and I'm not taking away anything from the Rangers' performance in Tampa. I'm just merely stating facts. Tampa is decimated by injuries. They didn't have Ryan McDonough, who you all know. He's an ex-captain of the Rangers. They didn't have Victor Hedman, and they were missing a bunch of other players. I believe, if I remember, one of their defensemen got also hurt in the first period and didn't come back. So Tampa's not the same Tampa team, although they have Vasilevsky and, of course, John Cooper behind the bench. Cooley, right away gets the Rangers going on the power play. If you listen to our episode last month with Sam Rosen, he had a genius idea that I loved, and the Rangers did this, and this goal was an illustration of that. And that was Will Cooley standing in front of the net on the power play, putting Will Cooley he's not going to be Chris Kreider. He's not going to have those hands that can tip a puck, but his presence, his net front presence on the power play was his idea. And the Rangers did that. I'm sure they didn't get that from Sam Rosen. They probably came up with it on their own. But Cooley's standing in front of the net, bangs in a rebound, and they're up 1-0. 7 minutes into the game is 3-1. I mean, if you showed up like late for this game, and it was a TNT game, so it started a little bit later. If you showed up late for this game and you turn on the game in the halfway through the first period, you're thinking to yourself, like, what is going on? What did I miss? There was a lot of positives and far more positives, but I will tell you one thing that infuriated me last week during this game. The Rangers are up 4-2 late in the first period, and they're on the power play. And the last thing that can happen there, you have all the momentum in the world, right? You're up 4-2 at the end of about to be the end of the first period, and you're on a power play. Instead of scoring a goal to go up 5-2, and it's fine that you didn't. Power plays are not 100% successful, but they let up a shorthanded goal against on a breakaway. I believe it was the Gensel, if I remember correctly. And it's now 4-3 at the end of the first period. You gave all the momentum back. The second period, I will say this, when the Rangers were up 4-3, you were almost kind of sitting there holding on, thinking that it was a matter of time until Tampa tied it, because Tampa was the better team. Trocheck's goal there to put them up 5-3, and that was his second game back with 2 goals again, by the way. Makes it 5-3, and the Rangers go on to win 7-3. The announcers on the game, and again, it was a TNT broadcast, so it wasn't. I think it was the Islander guy. It was Brendan Burke. Were noting, and obviously we could figure this out, the answer, but Vasilevsky was pulled after 2 periods, and no one could remember the last time Vasilevsky was pulled from a game. And the Rangers win that 7-3. So a very, very good win. Now you have the vibes going twofold, where you have the Nashville game on Monday, your first win of the season. You've gone into Tampa. And again, Tampa's a little decimated by injury, but a win's a win. And you win there, and you're moving on to Columbus on Saturday night. Not being talked enough about that game is the Miles Wood penalty shot in the first period. I don't know if it was a penalty. I don't know if he had enough possession to give it a penalty shot. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Igor makes a save there and keeps it scoreless after 1. If Columbus scores there and takes a 1-0 lead and gets the advantage, that's a completely different game. I mean, that's a totally different game. So it goes into the second period, tied at 0. Mika gets on the board on a power play goal. And I posted this on our Instagram story. I believe it was right after the Columbus game, or right after the Zibanejad goal in that game in Columbus. The shot advantage was 21-4 in favor of the Rangers, which you almost do a double take. Like, I actually did double take, and I thought maybe there was something wrong on the broadcast, because that's happened where sometimes the information they put up on that little graphic scoreboard can be wrong. That I actually went on NHL.com to make sure that was right, because it didn't seem like it was right, but it was right. When you have a 21-4 shot advantage, you deserve to win the hockey game. Now, it wasn't going to last, obviously. What was maddening about this game is you're up 1-0. You have a massive shot advantage, and you take a stupid penalty that Columbus scores on a stupid bench minor of too many men on the ice. So Columbus is let back in the game. The Rangers are also fortunate. I'm going to get on Vakanainen in the third period. I'm sorry, not Vakanainen. I apologize. Not him. Adam Edstrom, with just some sloppy play in the defensive end. Like, there was one play where he makes, if you have a kid that plays hockey, right, and you coach hockey, or you're trying to teach your kid the game, maybe they don't play hockey, or even soccer to that extent, because I've coached my kids in soccer, you always teach the people in defense. I mean, your kids are younger, obviously.
We're working on the little basketball hoop in the sock.
basketball hoop?
Yeah.
Like 101 stuff
Yeah.
is you don't throw the puck or the ball across the middle in the defensive end.
Oh,
And
we're not
Adam
there
Emsher
yet.
did
We're
that.
not
You're
there
not there yet.
We're putting the ball in the hoop.
You'll get there with Samantha. You've got some time. But the Rangers thankfully escaped that. Igor has 26 saves. Trocheck scores in the shootout. Igor lets one in, so it goes to the third round in the shootout, and JT Miller wins it on a nice shootout goal. So now I want to bring up something, because one of the comments that we get a lot from you guys, and I like this, is that you like when I bring my kids and my family into the Ranger discussion. I'm going to do that here because now the Rangers have won 3 in a row. They won Monday night at home versus Nashville. They won Wednesday in Tampa, and they've won on Saturday in Columbus. Sunday night, we're going to the game. Now, it was predetermined we're going to this game way before they won. It wasn't like we decided on that morning. But talk about the vibe going on the West Side Highway Sunday at like 4 o'clock, 4:30, because, you know, we have to go early. My kids have to go in at 6 o'clock when the doors open, and then they don't pay attention to the pregame skate, and they have to go to Raising Cane's and all that stuff, right? But talk about the vibes for a minute here. Yeah. We're riding into the game. The team has won 3 in a row. They're playing well. They just won the night before. It's the weekend. It's an original 6 game. There's a little bit of confidence here in the way that the things are going. What were they, like 8-2 in the last 10 games, I believe, when we were driving in? I mean, there's just like, you know, there's good vibes. There's good feelings. You're feeling good. We park the car. I got street parking actually on Sunday right outside the Garden. Like, it should have been criminal what happened to me. Park for free. My son, as I've mentioned, is getting over still kind of a broken leg, although he's a lot better, so he didn't have to walk far. We take the kids to Raising Cane's. Have you been to Raising Cane's, by the way, ever?
No.
Okay.
I have to go. Raising
Cane's has like I don't want to say cult-like following, but it's good, right? Yeah. My kids, because we did a food review, you can go check it out from last year with my wife as well, in Penn Station. Raising Cane's in Penn Station it's good chicken fingers, okay? Like, I've got no complaints. My son loves like the Texas toast. The fries are good, all that stuff. For the prices that they charge, there is no way that they charge that on college campuses across the country, what they charge in Penn Station. It has to be because it's Penn Station in New York. When you eat any of the chicken fingers from there, the only way they could justify the cost, and again, it's good. I'm not saying Raising Cane's is bad. But if you've ever been to the one in Penn Station and what they charge, it should be lobster. I mean, it really like,
or marinated in gold.
It's bizarre. Anyway, the vibes are high. We go in, we watch the pregame warm up. The crowd is kind of into it, right? It's an original 6. It's a centennial jersey, blah, blah, blah. There is so much to hate about what I saw on Sunday night. So much to hate about. Let's start here. The Rangers are outshot 42-19. They are completely outplayed. Now, before you tell me, because this is what people were telling me in section 222 when we were talking at the intermission. Well, you know what? The Rangers are on a back-to-back. So, of course, they're going to be a little bit sluggish. Of course, they're going to be a little bit slow. Of course, they're going to maybe be outshot, not 42-19. Can I fill you in on something? Detroit was on a back-to-back, too. Detroit played at home on Saturday night versus Buffalo and let up 4 or 5 goals to the Buffalo Sabres and then travel to New York. So don't give me any goddamn excuse that the Rangers are on a back-to-back and that justifies getting outshot 42-19 at home. Jonathan Quick, I have said for so long, is getting to a point where you cannot refer to him as a backup goalie because he plays well enough that he could be a starter. Should he be the Ranger starter above Igor? No, he's not. Let's not get delusional here. They have Igor Shesterkin. However, right, he's playing well enough that
he might be the best backup.
Some of his 40 saves on Sunday night were grade AA opportunities. It wasn't like, you know what, sometimes goalies can face a lot of shots and maybe the quality of shots weren't great. There were so many times last night I'm like, we're getting scored on here, we're getting scored on here, we're getting scored on here. And Jonathan Quick somehow kept the puck out. He had point blank shots at him all night. He is, as Dennis is saying in the comment, and we can pull it up, the best backup in the league. I don't even think it's close. I mean, I don't follow backup goalies on the other teams. Like when we get to Vegas in a minute last night, I didn't even know Akira Schmid was on Vegas, let alone played against us last night, which we'll get to in a minute. But I like Jonathan, to waste that performance, a 40 save performance versus a team that also had played the night before, and you score one goal is not good at all. Also, stupid penalties, like a little bit of a theme. It's 1-1 in the third period. Will Cooley takes an offensive zone trip in a 1-1 game in the offensive zone. I just don't. To me, I don't understand. People are losing their mind, and I'll take. We got put on a clip. It's still on our Instagram page, so I accepted it as a clip about this Carrick holding the stick call by Kelly Sutherland. Yes, it's a terrible call. It was Sam Carrick holding the stick. No, he wasn't. However, Detroit didn't score on that power play. So why is sitting here losing your mind over it? Okay, it was a bad call. I get it, but it didn't even matter. And also, if you want to get on the officiating, what you should comment on is on the game-winning goal by Lucas Raymond in the third period when the score was tied at 1. Detroit had too many men on the ice. When the puck went down the rink coming out of the Rangers' offensive zone, and this because we were in section 222, we were on that side of the arena. I saw 2 Detroit guys scurry back to the bench because they had too many men. They didn't call it, and they scored. I'm not going to get on the refs. You got outshot 42-19. You didn't lose because of the refs. It's not like
Well, they did take 2 goals away.
This is not the right game. You're talking about last night. We'll get there, hockey fan over there.
Right.
Again, and this is another thing I've said for a while with this team, especially being at a bunch of home losses this year. When something goes wrong at home, so in this case, when they got scored on, the mental fortitude of this team is just not tough. After they scored and the puck is dropped, I think they scored with like 3 or 4 minutes left on Sunday night. It is, I don't mean quiet. I'm going to throw in another adjective. Dead quiet. It is absolutely dead quiet. So
I could try to make a fix.
But they're saying YouTube.
Yeah, it's going to be old.
Okay, well, I'll leave it up to the production.
You keep going.
So
keep going.
Whatever you want to do technically here. And we have Dennis and Nikolai in the chat. So now I've got to keep an eye on the YouTube chat. But
making a fix.
Okay. They're going to the Undefeated Media for those following on YouTube. Right. All right. So quick at the end of the game. Let's talk about this. The end of the game, Jonathan Quick gets upset that, and I don't remember what player it was on Detroit, puts the puck into the empty net to make it 3-1. I'm going to be honest with you. They scored the goal, and I turned my back to go up the steps in 222 because I wanted to get out of there because my son with his broken leg, getting in and out of that building is not easy. I guess it was Appleton. Thank you. Allie is following along. And I turned around, and there is chaos. There is not just a fight breaking out. I see there's about 15 Red Wings on the ice and 15 Rangers, which means a bench-clearing brawl. I don't have a problem with what Jonathan Quick because he was asked, and I don't remember who asked him it. It might have been Johnny Lazarus. I don't remember who it was that asked, but they said, look, were you that upset that he put it into an empty net after the buzzer? Or was some of this the emotions of having 40 saves, getting 1 goal support, and losing a game? Jonathan Quick was pretty adamant that it wasn't that. It was 100% on it being an empty netter. But you can't blame Jonathan Quick if he's frustrated. High quality saves and score and lose. I mean, he's got absolutely every right to be annoyed. Last night in Vegas, Allie, who is in the comments, they're saying it's better, Doug, by the way, in the comments. Yeah. So Allie, who's in the comments, I believe, was at the game last night in Las Vegas. So maybe she pulled an all-nighter because it's 7:25 a.m. out there. If you watch the game and you stay up last night, I didn't realize Aiden Hill wasn't playing. I believe he was hurt. I didn't even know. I don't follow the Western Conference teams enough to tell you that. What I certainly don't follow about the Western Conference teams enough is to tell you that Akira Schmid is even on that team and on their roster. When Akira Schmid was shown on like the graphic on MSG as the starting goalie, you get taken back immediately to awful memories of the spring of 2023 when the Rangers were playing the Devils in the first round of the playoffs, and Akira Schmid relieves. Who was the who was the goalie they're starting? Vitek Vanacek got pulled after 2 games, and they switched to Akira Schmid, and all of a sudden the Rangers made Akira Schmid look like Patrick Waugh, which would be a Ranger thing. So last night, a terrible start. Artemi Panarin takes an awful tripping penalty that sets up a power play that Vegas scores on. Panarin puts his stick out. You cannot do that. And you cannot do that when the puck is also coming out of your offensive end or Vegas's defensive end, because there's no threat there, right? There's no reason to take a penalty like that. So Panarin, I could get on him, and I was really annoyed at the time. And they actually said on the broadcast, I believe it was either Maloney or Kenny Albert who said it's only his second penalty of the year. So it was quite frustrating to see, to say the least. Just a stupid penalty. Vegas goes up, and I know play. Cooley and Trocheck, 2-on-1. It's timed perfectly. Great passing, Cooley to Trocheck, Trocheck back to Cooley, and actually made the game, scored a second goal of the game, but it ended up being waved off due to an offsides call when they were down 3-1. The Rangers make it interesting. Panarin on the power play throws it at the net. Trocheck has a beautiful deflection to make it 3-2. Are we good here, Doug, and everything? Is it just the screen here? Okay. Perfect. We're just running through some technical stuff here I can see. Trocheck makes a nice deflection to make it 3-2. What's frustrating about this was, again, at the end of the game, there's no, it was like this on Sunday night 2 versus Detroit. You're down a goal. There's 3 minutes left. What you want to do is, if you're not going to win that game and you're not going to get the tying goal in the dying minutes, at least make the other team earn it. Have some sustained pressure or attack. And it seemed like the Rangers just did not do that. And Vegas holds on to win 3-2. Was last night a game that, if you told me at the beginning of the day with a gun to my head, do I think that they'll end up winning it? Probably not. And tomorrow night, Colorado has 1 loss, by the way. Tomorrow night is going to be a challenge, to say the least. But it's just frustrating last night. Again, the shot advantages were not in the Rangers' favor, and a frustrating loss. We're good. Just a screen? Got it. Okay, sounds good. So a loss there. So the Rangers lose last night. Now their 3-game win streak from the beginning of last week was a thing of the past, and they go down and lose the last 2 games with Detroit and Vegas. They will go on to Colorado tomorrow night, and they will finish up their road trip on Saturday against Utah, the Utah Mammoth, as they are called right now. There's no way to get that TV going.
We're pressing it.
I got it.
I'll reset it.
Got it. Okay.
But let me know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Everything should be looking good now.
Okay. Got it. All right. So, yeah, it seems like everything's up. Just our TV screen up here. So, anyway, let's now talk about, and this, I was debating whether I wanted to do this today. But we're going to do it anyway. The Rangers are now at the quarter mark of the season. And when you get to the quarter mark of the season, you kind of finally have an opportunity to do some evaluating, right? You can kind of now sit there and say to yourself, all right, I don't have the full sample size of an 81-game season, but I also don't have the sample size of 5 games. I can actually now go out and really have some data to make conclusions on the first quarter of the season. And this is what I want to do. I'm going to open it up with this for those following, and if you want to put your answers in the chat, we'll see if they agree with me. Their record is 10-9-2. So you obviously have a big disparity, home record versus away record. What's really confusing is the overall record 10-9-2 makes you seem like you're a middle of the road team, right? You're 1 game over 500. But the away record being as good as it is would make you think if you only knew the away record, you were very good. And your home record is terrible as it is with 1 win would make you think that you're very bad. But the reality is, I think they are who they are. So here's my question to you. All right. What player on this team, if I said to you, what player on this team is, we got everything working. I can see. I mean, you look like you just ran a marathon.
Yeah, I did. I had to go all the way, connect the wires outside.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
there you go. You're up on a pole. All right. So here's my question to you. Following along on Instagram and YouTube, you can answer. And if you're listening to this episode later on, you could send your comments to me your answer.
Yeah.
What Rangers? And Allie, Allie, I just saw your comment about the Detroit game. I don't know what the highlight of the Detroit game was, although I'm thinking you might be thinking of our meetup at the second intermission, but you can let me know. All right. So here's my question to you. I'm sorry, I got distracted. What player on this team, on the New York Rangers in their first 21 games?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Has been most consistent. I'm not saying consistent good.
Okay.
Consistent bad. Just if I was going to evaluate, would be say, okay, he's been playing at this rate consistently. He's either been consistently good or consistently bad.
I think I got this.
You do? All right. Yeah. Before you, I'm going to give you who the answer is not. And you're not going to look, but I'm going to tell you that Dennis and I are going to be completely in agreement here. What player do you think, without looking at the comments, has been the most consistent player? Dennis understands the question because he got the answer right away. What player?
So the answer is Mika.
Okay,
that's first, but my close second, because Rempe's always consistently good.
It's not Rempe.
I'm messing with you. I'm saying Mika.
All right, Mika is the answer. There are a couple other answers though that would work. Okay, right? Jonathan Quick is up there. Carrick is absolutely up there, and I think Paul wrote that on YouTube right now. I think I actually I should have given Carrick more credit because that is a very good answer. Quick, 100%. Except the problem with Quick, though, is that Quick has not played in 21 games. But where he has played, even though sample size, he's been consistently good. The other name that I will give you.
But the question was consistently good or consistently bad.
Consistent, right? I want consistent.
Okay.
The other one I'm going to give you, and Chris now has chimed in, and I agree with this is where I'm going to go, and that's my third one. I'm not going to agree with Laba because I think Laba was really good right out of the gate. Fox, I'm not sure what's going on with him. Gavrikov is the other answer. The other answer to me about who you could look at and say, I know what they are because they've been consistent, is Mika, Gavrikov, Carrick, and Quick. Those would be my answers at who is consistent. I'm not looking for good or bad. I'm going to give you an example here. Artemi Panarin is a horrific example of consistent. He was terrible, shaved his head, he was good, and now he's bad again the last couple games. Yeah. That's not consistent.
True.
Alexis Lafreniere was terrible. Then he was good for 7 games. In the last 3 games that seemed to disappear. That's not consistent.
Well, the whole team as a whole were consistently good on the road. And
why do I
bad at home?
But why do I bring this up, right? Because it's not that I think it's important at the end of the season to say who's consistent, but I think this is a sign that if you have a lot of players that are not, we don't have a lot of candidates there, right? We had 4, maybe. We have players that, I'll give you one other one.
Yeah.
And I was going to say it, and Puck Rock Rangers just said it, actually in the comments. So I thank you for beating me to it. I was literally going to go here. He literally just said it. JT Miller has been consistently awful.
Yeah.
JT Miller,
he admitted it.
Has to be hurt from training camp. I don't understand. Now I looked up last night, or actually early this morning, JT Miller's stats because I have a financial implications on a bet over the long haul of the season that I need JT Miller to put up points.
Yeah.
JT Miller in 21 games has 10 points. That I believe, can someone look this up? That I think that last year when he got traded to the Rangers, I think he had like 8 points or something really quick. And everyone was like, oh, they fleeced Vancouver. They could take Pettersson. They traded the wrong guy. No, Pettersson has double the points right now, 20%. So, I mean, like,
I don't want us to forget either. We do have a bet with that Ranger girl. If Panarin doesn't get 50 points, she has to shave her head.
That is true. And I did see Allie the other night. I did get to meet her at the Detroit game in the second intermission. But JT Miller has to be he has to be hurt. This is like, I don't want to say it's a fall from grace that you've never seen before, because you probably have in sports, but it's just bad. Now, Allie, at least taking responsibility, you can put up her comment, Doug, which was saying that no one was a bigger advocate for him to be captain than me, but she was wrong. Look, anyone that also advocated for JT Miller to be captain also loses arguments, because you've seen in the last week and a half how valuable Vincent Trocheck was to this team, right? So all right, quarter part of the season thoughts. Who's been consistent? There's a lack of consistency.
Yes.
Look at the home and away record. So just give you that. just thinking about that. But
which is wild.
So what player now? Let's not talk about consistent. Let's just talk about performance, which is probably more important. But I wanted to go down that. So let's talk about goaltending. Igor started off really good, and then he had 2 winnable games back-to-back that he played against teams that he could have won against and played miserably. San Jose at home, he let up 5 goals when they let 6 in, right? That cannot happen. I mean, I'm not going to get on for one game.
Yeah.
Then 3 nights later, he went to the league worst Calgary Flames and lost there. Igor has come back to earth. Igor, if you follow the Rangers, know that he is consistently inconsistent, right? He's always been that way. This is not anything new. He's always been inconsistent. He could be great one game or great one week and not the other. He's been okay. You want to say something?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Now, of these situations, is partial to blame the defense that's in front of him?
Defensively, that's fair. Adam Fox, I'm not there yet, but it's going to get to a point if this continues, and this is going to be a pretty bad statement. I'm starting to wonder, and Dennis and I have talked about this off the air. I think Dennis actually is the one that said this, and I think he's right. When you look at how Adam Fox is playing, you question to yourself how this man won the Norris Trophy before, right? Because it's not like he's playing well and he's just not like he actually won the award a couple years ago for the best defenseman in the entire league, where Cale Makar's in the league, Victor Hedman's in the league. I mean, I could go on, and I watch him play, and it's just nothing special. If I see Adam Fox, and again, this happened Sunday night in the net in front of us, I had to see it in person, as if I don't see it enough on TV, throw an unobstructed wrist shot to the net on a power play. Chris Kreider's not there anymore to tip it. Can we stop? Right? So, and Nikolai brings up a good point. He won the Norris under. No, I think he actually won the Norris Trophy under Quinn. Can someone look that up? I think the season Adam Fox won the Norris Trophy was under David Quinn in that shortened, crazy COVID season. I think. I'm not sure, but someone can look it up. I'm not sure that it was under Gallant.
He won it in 20 and 21. 2021 season.
So it was under Quinn. So yeah, he won it. He won it under David Quinn. Well, you know what? Who's back running the defense right now? David Quinn.
Wow,
shouldn't he be able to bring out these characteristics that won him a Norris Trophy previously?
Yeah.
So Adam Fox, and Chris can disagree with me on this, I is not having a good year. He's not. And we also heard all offseason, there were like things on TikTok and all this stuff, and they said it on Spit and Chicklets that, they heard that Adam Fox has been hitting the gym like crazy in the offseason, and he's on a mission. I'm not sure what the mission is because I ain't seen it. So defensively, to answer your question, Adam Fox has not been good. Gavrikov has been very good defensively. Soucy's been okay, like for what he is. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Borgen's been good. I think Ali said that in the comment earlier. I saw somewhere today. I like Borgen's been good, but I mean, like, what's peak optimal level for Borgen? It's not going to get you overly excited, but he's been good. Offensively, go ahead.
So are they giving up opportunities that is Igor giving up opportunities that should be easy saves? or the defense giving them like breakaways that any goalie like John Quick was playing on the top of his head last night.
They or 3 nights ago.
nights ago.
They are giving up a lot of grade A chances. I'll say this. It certainly appears that they give up way more grade A chances than grade A chances that they get.
True.
I mean, that's clearly
true.
Offensively, it's hard to pick out someone that's been good. I know Pinch of Cute Emma saying that Cooley's been good. So I had a discussion last night. It was it wasn't last night. It was early this morning. I had a discussion with someone on Instagram that Cooley is not – for Cooley to be – if you think that Cooley's going to be a top-line player and put up top-line stats, you're just setting yourself up to be let down on Will Cooley. That's not who he is, right? If Cooley is put in the right situation, he can be good. But he is not a top-line guy. That's just not his game. That's not his skill set. Has Cooley been good? I don't know about that. I mean, I don't think he's been awful. I mean, there's a lot of players that are kind of in the middle, like they've been okay, but who's really past their expectation offensively? Not Panarin, not Lafreniere. I mean, I could certainly say Trocheck, but my sample size on Trocheck is slim, right? It's not like I'm sitting here with a ton of games that I'm gauging Trocheck on. Who else? Mika's been good, not great, and JT Miller's been awful. Connor Sheary, and Dennis is right. I thought he had a good game last night, but I mean, he hasn't been good. Noah Laba's been good at times for what he is, but he's not going to be a great goal scorer. Same thing with like a guy like Adam Ebstrom. Carrick's been good, but Carrick being good isn't going to carry a team. A fourth line guy's not going to carry the thing. So I don't know. Like when you look at it at the quarter season mark, as Dennis is saying, you can put that last comment up. No one in capital letters has been good offensively. No one.
True.
If I pull up now, I like to try and be prepared with these kind of stats, and I don't know the answer here, but I'm going to assume that the Rangers' goals for are going to be pretty low comparatively. The Rangers' goals they've scored 53 goals in the Metropolitan Division, or in the Eastern Conference, I should say. That is tied for second least. The least being the Flyers at 51. It seems like Trevor Zegras is doing a lot of good things there. I don't know how many of the 51 he's at a part of. The Rangers have 53 goals. They are tied for second with the Caps for least amount of goals in the Eastern Conference. To give you an idea on the other side, right? The Toronto Maple Leafs, this is interesting. If you're a betting man or a girl, have the most goals for and the most goals against. So they score the most and they let up the most. So they should be betting on the overs in the Toronto games. This is the trend there, ladies and gentlemen. The Rangers have 53 goals for. If you take 53, and we all know my wife is the math teacher here, not me. So I'm going to pull up my calculator here on my computer because I can't do this simple math in my head. If I take, why is my calculator not coming up? All right, if I take 20 games, 53 divided by 20, the Rangers are averaging 2.65 goals for, and they are averaging 2.6 goals against. So 2.65 versus 2.6. Defensively is not the problem, right? Defensively, the issue is the problem is not that they're letting up too many goals. They've let up 2.6 a game.
Yeah.
Now,
you can do a little better. You can do a little better.
Joe Albanese, who's in the chat, is saying that the trend has to break eventually. You would think so, Joe. I would completely agree with you on that. However, as the season goes on, I've been saying that the trend is going to break at some point, and it's just not. You would think that these players, in particular Artemi Panarin, who's in a contract year, is going to have to eventually wake up, right, and start producing. Same thing with JT Miller. You are the captain. And Emma has a good point where we said that all last year, right? It has to get better. There's too much talent on this team. They can't be this bad. And the Rangers, from the Buffalo game that Dennis and I were at in November, just went on a colossal free fall that was like just a straight up. It wasn't like, again, I'm going to use a math term because of my wife. It wasn't like slope where it was like a gradual regression. No, it was just like a free fall.
That's a big math.
Like
just slope and gradual
progression. Just a drop. Yeah, my math teacher wife will like it. But it was a drop off of epic proportions.
Wow.
So, but again, who's been good? No one.
Yeah. What was it? 2 games ago, Mika whiffed at the end of the game. Easy shot.
Thank you. But that's another point. And Chris is going to kill me in the comments. And it's fine, Chris. I'm ready for you. I understand. I said this to Allie, actually, I believe, at the intermission on Sunday night when I saw her. They've got to stop trying to set up the Mika one-timer. Like, it's getting to a point where why are we the only ones that see that it doesn't work? Does the coaching staff not go back and review film on these games and say, you know what, we've tried this play now 336 times and it's worked 3 times and failed 333, right? They at the end of the game, the Detroit game the other night, when they're down a goal, and again, you need a goal to get back into this game, they're trying to feed Mika in front of the net. And I'm saying to myself, please, God, do not give him the puck. And they give him the puck and the puck goes wide. Like it doesn't. Chris is telling me that the numbers work. Chris, get me a stat that says it works. Because all I keep seeing is it not even get to the goddamn net.
How many one-timer goals do you have this year?
Mika?
3?
I don't even
would
think.
say
I
3.
no, I don't think the under's got to be 3. I'm not talking total goals. I know, but I want to clarify what you said, which is right. I'm not looking for how many goals.
No, one-timing goals.
Yeah, this year it's not 3 because he had. Well, let's think about this. The game that I was at where he scored on the rebound the other night was not a one-timer. The goal on Sunday night Saturday night in Columbus was not a one-timer. Let's do something real quick here. Let's go game by game log and see the games that he scored. He has 7 goals. Let's see if I can remember all the goals here. Detroit was not a one-timer. The Nashville game last week, I don't remember that goal. No, he has a breakaway goal. That was not a one-timer. So now we are out of November. All of his goals in November were not one-timers. The Vancouver game, he had a goal. No, that was on a 2-on-1. The San Jose game, I don't remember the goal. The Montreal game he scored was not a one-timer. And the Pittsburgh game where they won 6-1, I don't remember his goal. So at most, it was 2. At absolute most, they were 2. Nikolai wants to know the Taylor Radish rating. Nikolai, I had said 3 weeks ago, and I got screwed for it. He had the hat trick versus San Jose, and I said, now he's never going to score again. And he scored like 2 games later, but then he hasn't scored since then. So,
Even so, Joe. Even so, that's 3.
Mika was okay. So Joe might be right that Montreal was a one-timer.
So he
could
3?
be. Actually, you know what? He's right. Joe is right. He scored in the first period on a one-timer. So he absolutely did.
Out of how many games?
3.
20 games so far?
3. Right. So now, again, using my math, Dennis is telling me it's 2. So let's say it's 2 or 3.
Let's say 2.5.
Okay. Let's say 2.5. You're 1/4 of the way done with the season.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2.5 is 25%. If I times that by 4, again, math teacher wife, 10 goals on the one-timer. I don't know.
That's saying what it's going to be at the end of the season?
Yeah. I think that would still be high. If Mika ends the season with 10 one-timer goals, then maybe Chris has a point.
Do we have a bet? So Allie's shaving her head.
No.
If Mika has 10 one-timer goals, what's going to happen?
Well, it's not going to happen, so we can make it into a bet. I don't know. It's not going to happen.
Let's make it into a bet.
And again, I don't care. Look, I'm not saying he can score. It doesn't have to be a one-timer. But as Dennis is saying, will he even hit the net 10 times?
Well, that's my problem with it. Is like you're not even hitting the net, or you're whiffing it half the time. You're not even hitting the puck.
So Chris, who is a hockey guy, right, who sees the game differently than everyone, okay, and Christian is saying it's a safe bet to take, and I would agree. So, Chris, if the Mika stuff is working, right, you don't have any better things that they should be doing during the power play. That you don't have another idea to sit here and say to yourself, you know what, maybe we should try and run. I don't know, pucks to the net, do whatever, something different. It does not work. The Rangers go to Colorado tomorrow night. Colorado is 13-1. Last I checked.
That's tomorrow night?
That is tomorrow night.
It's going to be a good one.
The only thing that's positive is I will say that they're 13-1. They're 8-0-2 in their last 10.
Jesus.
This would be the game that also, by the way,
is it home or away?
They're away. That and Dennis is saying it, that they could beat Colorado. This would be the exact game.
Of course they are.
Typical that they would beat Colorado and then come home and lose to some terrible.
Calgary.
They would. But anyway, thankfully tomorrow night is a 9:00 game, because if you stay up against a 13-1 team and it's 10 o'clock, you're bad. Allie is right. The power play is so predictable. If you've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times. I've been saying this for a while right now. The power play, and they get puck movement to the outside well, but nothing happens. They also stand still a lot. I was saying to my wife and I, because the power play in the first period the other night was on our side. Like, look at Lafreniere, and I'm not picking on Lafreniere, guys. Relax. I'm just using him as an example here. He's on the far side, and he doesn't have the puck. He's not moving. It's the kind of thing you would expect, like Ed Maturko, like in an HTC beer league game, to have. Like, we all kind of just like stand around and bang our sticks. It shouldn't be happening on a New York Ranger level, right? It should be kind of thing where you're moving around.
Too much puck watching.
Move around. They've got to do something different for sure. All right, so Colorado tomorrow night. They go to Utah on Saturday night. Utah, by the way, if you think that Utah is like, an expansion team, which, by the way, they never were, because they basically just took residency from the Arizona Coyotes. Utah's not bad. That's not an easy game either. This is a terrible road trip. I mean, you have 3 games like that are difficult. Then they come home Monday night against 7th place. I looked at this yesterday. 7th place St. Louis team, who, as you know, is coached really well by Jim Montgomery, and the way the Rangers play at home. I was debating going Monday night. I'm torn what I want to do here. I've been to more games this year at the start of the season than any year in my 45 years of being a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even close, right? Monday night, I keep telling myself I want to go to a game and see a win. That's all I want, right? Just one time, because I'm now, 0-4, 0-5.
Hey, there's some people that don't even see goals at these home games.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, I've been there for that. Monday night, my wife has like a PTA thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the kids with me. I was thinking, like, do I go, me and the kids do like, a dad and kid night? But then I was thinking, knowing what I've been seeing for so long, if I take them, am I just am I ruining it? like I don't.
Ruining their fandom and pain. Well, is one of them still in a wheelchair?
What?
Is
no, Tyler can walk now.
All right. So you don't have to worry about the clunkiness of that.
Yeah, and Dennis is offering to take them, so maybe Dennis wants to take them. And Allie, this is a great stat, and I'm not throwing you under the bus, Allie. You can pull this up. Allie, who has season tickets, did a really cool thing this year. Like, I got a single ticket for season tickets. We talked over the summer about it. I think it's just really cool. Like, I think it's just really cool to do. You get a 1 ticket and you go to games, whatever, and you hang out. Allie's been to every game but one. And the one she hasn't gone to, she gave the ticket to PJ, who's with the Rangers Ed guy. So Allie's like 0-4, and they're also undefeated without her.
Wow.
Poor girl in her first year is a
and she's gonna have to shave her head later.
Yeah, she's gonna have to shave her head when Panarin doesn't get 50 points. Aye. So that's where the Rangers are. All right, real quickly, because we're at the 50-minute mark already. My God. NFL. The Giants last week under new coach or interim coach Kafka, or however you pronounce his name, lose at home to the Packers. The Jets Thursday night give you a glimmer of hope. They literally march down the field, score in the opening possession, and then end up losing. I had both those teams in my picks. I had the Jets plus 13.5. I barely won. The Jets lost by 13, so that half point covered. I had the Giants plus 7. That was a push because they lost by 7. I had the Bengals plus 5.5 at the Steelers. That was a loss. I had the Chiefs minus 3.5 at Denver. That was an outright loss. And then I had the Eagles minus 2.5 at home versus Detroit. Right. So we actually ended the week as a draw. We had 2 wins, 2 losses, and a tie from that Giant Packer game. So here are the week 12 picks for Mind Your Pucking Business. I like the Giants. I like Detroit minus 10.5 at home versus the Giants. 10.5 is a lot of points, but here's my logic here, right?
Yeah.
Detroit can score 27 points very easily, or 30 points. How are the Giants going to score 20 points to keep that in line? They can't.
And the Lions are pissed because they just got the
butts
whooped by the Eagles.
This to me could be ugly. I love this game. I love Detroit minus 10.5 against the Giants. I like the Titans plus 13.5 against Seattle. The Titans are not good. I get it. But Seattle is not that good that they should ever be giving a home team 13.5 points. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. Give me the Titans plus 13.5 at home. I like the Steelers. Allie will like that pick. Plus 3 at the Bears. I know Aaron Rodgers may not play. Look, the Bears are not good regardless. And the Steelers are can still play. I mean, there's other players there, and they're getting 3. Give me them +3. I like the Browns +3 in Vegas. What a terrible game this is. It's just an awful game. I wouldn't watch this game if it was the only thing on TV rather than me reading a book. However, Vegas is atrocious. I watch them. They should never be giving points. And I'll take the Browns +3. And lastly, I'm going to pick this game because I think it's one of the better games of the week whenever the Cowboys and Eagles play.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing in Dallas. I like the Eagles -3.5 in Dallas. I just think that Dallas is so inconsistent. So to recap, I like Detroit -10.5 at home versus the Giants. The Titans +13.5 at home versus Seattle. The Steelers +3 at the Bears. The Browns +3 at Vegas. And the Eagles -3.5 at Dallas. Those are your week number 12. I say this every year. What do I say?
We make you money.
No, but we're not making you money. All I say every year is that nothing goes as fast as an NFL season.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, do you just want to just glaze over the other local game? The Jets play the Ravens.
Yeah, the Jets play the Ravens. What's the line on it? You want to look at it?
13.5 on ESPN.
Oh, 13.5. You know what? I would take the Jets. The Ravens aren't that good that they should be giving 13.5. Yeah. I would, but we shall see. All right. So that is it for today. There were a ton of comments on YouTube and Instagram, and I'm sorry I didn't really get to the Instagram stuff. I will sift through them. But yes, go ahead.
Do we have a bet for Mika doesn't get 10 one-timers?
So if Mika gets 10, the over is 10.
Does anyone in the chat think that he's going to? That should be the person you bet against. Who thinks that Mika's going to have 10 or more one-timing goals? Not goals, one-timing goals.
If someone again, I'll take a bet. How about this? I'll give someone, and Chris wants to do this because he's so confident in this. He can be the recipient. I will give you good odds. So I will say, and I'll answer Paul about the winter jersey, my thoughts on the jersey. Although I just saw it right before we went live. I'll answer that in a second. But I will give someone +200 odds. So if he has 10 one-timer goals, all right, Emma's going to go against me here. But she's not shaving her head. So, Emma, you can DM us, and we will come up with some bet. I don't know where you live. If you want to bet like lunch on it or something like that. I'm going to
There you go.
TS Ma, yeah. We could do. My thoughts, Paul, on the winter jersey, Winter Classic jersey. I'm going to be brutally honest. You should never be asking me for anything from a fashion point of view, like at all. I thought it was okay, but I'm not going to ever love a jersey. I'm never going to hate a jersey. Like I'm not the one to ask. I also think that it's like one game. So for people that go out and buy these jerseys, it's one game. Like they'll wear it one game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Nikolai is now worried that the team will lose the outdoor game and break our undefeated record.
What's the deal with the Classic this year? Is that the Winter Classic?
No, it changes. So the Rangers are in Florida. I actually still have tickets for it, although I don't think I'm going to fly down for it. The Rangers they're outdoor in Florida against the Panthers. I believe it's January 2nd. Wait, no. Yeah, January 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is the Friday after New Year's. Yes.
And they're playing outside in Florida?
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that.
So they're going to be in short sleeve shirts and on ice? That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Huh.
If there ever was an outdoor game you should go to, it's that one. I went to one of the worst things my wife and I have ever been to sporting event-wise. Yeah. In 2000 and I want to say 10, the Bruins had an outdoor game at Fenway Park. I didn't go to that. But the week after they left the ice up, and BU, where I went to college, was playing outdoors. So we went up there for the BC. I think they played BC outdoor at Fenway Park. You could not see anything, and it was so damn cold. It was awful. We were outside basically watching the game on the scoreboard, standing there because you couldn't even see anything. It was terrible. So if you were ever going to go to an outdoor game, this would be the one to go to because it's not freezing. I'm not at a point in my life right now as I've gotten older that I want to stand in the cold. I do it for work sometimes, and that's awful enough. I'm not spending money to do it. But so if you were going to go to an outdoor game, Allie's probably going. Allie can tell me if she's going. Allie seems like she's traveling with the team. She was in Columbus on Saturday. Then I saw her Sunday. Now she's in Vegas yesterday. I mean, I would some. All right, Dennis's last comment. If he has 10 or plus one-timer goals, I will pay for Maturko's league fee and come on the show for all my fans. All right, there it is. There it is. We're going to timestamp that. 50 at the 54 minute.
54:22.
Wow, that is Ed. We have it timestamped for you. So Ed Maturko has a free season of HTC hockey coming.
What do you want from him now?
No, I don't. We don't.
Ooh,
we don't.
I get something too. Yeah, thank you.
What do you get?
I get the same thing. I guess I'm playing in the league now.
Yeah. All right. So that is it for today. We appreciate you listening as always. Again, the Rangers are in Colorado tomorrow night. They're in Utah on Saturday. Then they are back home at the Garden Monday night versus the Blues. We thank the Bamboozle Project as always. When you go on the site, there's a ton of stuff with the weather changing. You can get your winter stuff as well. Use promo code MYPB at checkout. Save yourself 20%. We thank DraftKings as well. We thank you guys as well for listening, and we will talk to you soon.